Okay, welcome to Chapin High School. This is Jared Dawsey, joined by Garrett Dean. This is CSPN Sports, and we're bringing you tonight's wrestling match versus Chapin High School versus Dreher. As you see now, Chapin High School is coming out. Garrett, I'll pass it to you. Welcome to the broadcast. Your first time with CSPN. Tell us a little bit about yourself and bring us through this event.
So hi all, my name is Garrett Dean, and I am a senior at Chapin High School. I'm currently out on injured reserve, but once I'm back in, I'll be wrestling 160 for the Chapin Eagles.
Okay, all right. Well, tell us what we're in store here for tonight.
So I think this is going to be a really good match. We have a lot of talent on this team, ranging from all the way from some freshmen on the team to seniors. Lots of seniors on this team, such as we have Noel Hurley, who's wrestling 138, Kyle Nichols wrestling 152, Cole Hodges wrestling 160, and then we have Cole Hale wrestling 220, and Justin West at a small weight of 106.
Okay. Well, Chapin's been highly successful a little bit. I mean, over the past few years in wrestling, really a great wrestling tradition here, Garrett. What do you expect out of their opponent, Dreher? Do you know anything about their wrestling team this year?
So, I mean, we have to respect all of the teams out here, especially because, I mean, in our region especially, wrestling is one of the best sports. And so we're expecting to have a good matchup. I think with just the talent we have on the team and how hard we've been working in the wrestling room, I think that we'll have a win out of here today.
Well, tell me a little bit. I know there's I'm not real familiar with a lot of the wrestlers on the program. I know Noah Hurley and Cole Hale. I do know you have a newcomer in Josh Taylor. He's a football player who's, I think, wrestling for the first time this year.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So can you speak a little bit about what he's been working on, trying to get ready to be a wrestler?
Yes, sir, absolutely. So Josh Taylor, he's actually was one of our key football players this year on varsity, helped us lead to the season we have. And so this we helped convince him to try out wrestling this season. So this is his first year. And the main thing he's been working on is the wrestling room, is really learning the basics, learning your standard takedowns, your snap downs, your setups, and then learning just kind of the basic rules of how everything works. And once he's showing a lot of natural talent for the sport. Even starting off so late is really, really difficult for a guy, especially a guy wrestling at the kind of weight he is. So he's shown a lot of promise. I think over the next few years he's going to become a really good asset for us.
Yeah, well, I see Hank Manis down here. He's a returning. Well, he's not wrestling this year, but he's the defending state heavyweight champion. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. And he's actually helped train Josh Taylor for us a little bit, help him get up to speed with the rest of the wrestlers. He's definitely one of our heaviest losses, but we're really glad he's out here at least coaching up our team and supporting, and we wish him all the best of luck at University of South Carolina later this year.
Yeah, that's right. And for those that don't know, Hank is joining the football team at USC, and he will be graduating from school here I think in December, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
The football program there. So at this time, we're going to take a break and listen to the national anthem. This is Jared Dawson. He's Garrett Dean. And this is CSPN Sports. Okay, we're back, and the little celebration just held for Hank Manus. As tonight, I guess, is considered senior night. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It's about right. Yeah.
Captain's out in the center of the mat for pre-match rules. What are they doing here, Garrett?
All right. So right now they're basically figuring out who's gonna choose first throughout the entire match. Our captains on the far left we have Cole Hale, senior. In the middle we have Noel Hurley, also senior, and then on the far right we have Cole Hodges, also a senior.
Okay. Now Noah's healthy. I know last year he had the elbow injury, correct?
Yeah, that was a horrific injury to see. If any of you out there saw that live.
So what weight class are we starting at? Who we got here?
All right, so right now we have our 220-pound wrestler, Cole Hale. He's a senior, and actually over the last weekend, last Saturday, he celebrated his 100th varsity high school win at the Palmetto State Classic.
Okay, nice. Am I mistaken, or is Cole trying to go to college and wrestle, or does he know where he's going to go wrestle yet? Or
so as far as I know, I believe Cole Hale is trying to go to the Virginia Tech University for wrestling. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Of course, for fans, 3 periods, each 2 minutes in length, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct. All right, so that was a really nice takedown by Cole right there. That's for most of you guys who don't know, he started out with a single leg, that single leg on the left side, and he switched to a double leg and got him down to his and control his hips. So that's 2 points for Cole right there.
So he's already up 2 points, 15 seconds into the match. Garrett, what is he trying to do here? What is he trying to work him towards?
So right now what Cole's trying to do is really maintain that hand control. So if you can see, he's kind of really trying to make sure he grabs his wrist and keeps control of that, because if you have a guy's wrist on when you're on top, you can stop him from getting to his base and eventually trying to stand up and get away from you. So as long as you keep control of his hips and keep control of his hands, you'll beat him on top. So that's what he's doing right now. And if you see, his legs are kind of interlocked around his leg, and that's to keep him in control of that man's hips.
Okay. Trying to work him toward a pin.
Right here, he's actually working him. It's called a tilt, and what it is, it's basically designed to get the guy's back near the mat, but not necessarily on it. And as a result of that, he'll get points called near fall, as you can see the ref throwing up right there with the 3 fingers.
Okay.
So if he holds him near his back for a period of time, 5 seconds, he'll get 3 points, and then it'll go down to 2 points if it's for 4 seconds, to 1 point if it's for less. So it's kind of the way that works.
So he's up 5-0,
and there's the pin right there.
The pin. Okay, so now for our viewers, a pin would give 6 points to the team, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct. Okay. Yeah, the way that works is a pin goes 6 points. A forfeit is also 6 points. Okay. A technical, which is he wins by 15 points or more, that is 5 points for the team. A major decision, he wins by 8 points or more, is a 4 points, and then 3 points for a regular decision, that's 7 points or less.
Okay. Okay. All right, who we got now?
So next we have our heavyweight 285-pound wrestler, sophomore Josh Taylor. He was the one we were speaking about earlier, who was first year wrestling.
All right. What happens there, Garrett, when they leave the circle?
So when they leave the circle in high school wrestling, there's no change in points. The time just stops. They go back to the center and they restart the match. However, in other forms of wrestling, such as freestyle wrestling, which is done in the Olympics, if you push an opponent out of the mat, you actually get points at your score. So it's in other forms of wrestling, that's definitely a good thing. But high school, sadly, it's just a pause and time restart. So that's 2 right there. Yes, sir. So now what Josh right here on bottom is trying to do, he's trying to really work basically the opposite of what I spoke about with Cole. He's trying to work his hands and make sure he has control of his own hands so he can push off onto his hands and knees, get to his base is what we like to call that, and then eventually do some sort of move to get away. And usually that's either a stand or something called sit out. It looks kind of like breakdance move, I won't lie.
Yeah, okay. This is tough. I watched a little bit of wrestling, but a kid new to the sport, when you're still trying to understand and learn the technical side of it, it doesn't matter how big and strong you are. If you don't have the technical side of it, you can get a smart guy to put you in a bad spot, can't he?
Oh, absolutely, for sure. I mean, I've seen things where a really, really good 106-pound wrestler, nationally recognized, has just crushed a 195-pound wrestler who just started that day. It's all about the skill in wrestling, especially. It's not like other sports, where strength is the thing that matters mostly. So right here, what you're trying to do, and so sadly he didn't get it, he got pinned. But what he was trying to do there is called a bridge, where you push off with your neck and you kind of try to keep your shoulder blades above the mat. That's a good win by Dreher and a really good effort by Josh Taylor.
Well, the match here tied 6-6. So as we go to the third match, we got coming up here now.
So now we have our 106-pound wrestler, and I believe is Justin West. He's a senior for Chapin.
Okay. So he's probably got a lot of wrestling experience behind him. Is that correct or not?
So he's got a pretty good amount of experience, yes, sir. And that right there, that's a forfeit. So that's 6 more points for Chapin as a team.
Okay. Obviously, Dreher didn't have anybody in that weight class.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Now we're on to what? 101 what?
So now we're on 113 pounds, and this is a sophomore, Will Anderson. He wrestled for us last year, and he's actually been a member of the varsity team both years.
Gators, it just maybe why do they not, the wrestlers not have the band around their ankle, the green and red band? I don't see it anywhere on them.
So I won't lie, that's a pretty typical thing you see in wrestling, so I'm not really sure. I think it's probably something to do with the fact that there just aren't enough out there.
Okay. Chapin representing green, as you can see when he raises green to the folks. That's just Chapin. Got him in a bad spot here.
And that's a really, there we go. That's a really quick pin for Will Anderson. That was really nice. That move right there is called a cradle. Probably called because it looks very similar to a baby rocking a cradle, when you're rocking in their arms.
Right.
So that's a really good win. Another 6 points for Chapin Eagles.
First period pin by Will Anderson. Nice. The match score now 18-6. What we got here coming up, Garrett?
So next out, we have our 120-pounder. This is junior. His name is Alexander Stubbs. And something you actually notice with these lighter wrestlers is that, as you progress up the weight class, it's a lot slower and slower. So something pretty much everyone who watches wrestling is kind of started to notice is when you get to these really light weights, it is extremely quick and almost chaotic, could I say.
Yeah.
And so it's a really, really fun matches to watch, but I won't lie, they're also pretty stressful.
Yeah.
And right there, that looks really good positioning right there. And that's, wow, that was that's a pin too. That was 24 seconds.
Now he was kind of just outside the line, but was part of his body inside the circle.
Yes, sir. That's exactly it. Once you got your feet in the circle, you can keep wrestling. So, and that honestly, a big part of that depends on which ref is reffing. So, sometimes it'll change up, and the ref will decide that you can have just one foot in the circle, or even just a finger or something.
Okay.
Some of them are really strict about that 2-foot rule.
Forfeit here too as well.
So that was Josh Green. That's interesting. He actually just moved here from Minnesota, and he's a freshman this year.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we're now the match score of 24-6, heading to the next match. We got.
So now we got our 132-pounder, sophomore Mitchell Connor. He was also a varsity wrestler last year.
Okay. 24-6. Real disadvantage not to have a wrestler each weight class, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That's an absolute disadvantage. That's if you see a team that doesn't have a full bracket of wrestlers, they better hope they're really, really good. They want to make up for that deficit.
Right.
And that's a good quick takedown by Mitchell. And already he runs it in. He's squeezing right there. And so what Mitchell's trying to do is puff his chest into the guy and look up, and he'll get the pin, which there it is right there. So That was a quick. That wasn't even 20 seconds. That was what, 18 second pin. Good work. There we go, Mitchell.
We're on a turbo pace here. 36-6 match score. Now we're on to the next match.
I guess they're looking forward to going home and actually eating food for once in a while, right?
Yes. What we got here?
So now we got a 138-pounder, Noel Hurley. He's a senior for Chapin. He's actually one of our captains.
No, with an elbow injury last year, you can see his brace that he's got on his right elbow.
Wow, that was almost off the line takedown right there. That move, for those of you who don't know, it's called a fireman, and this looks like it could potentially be one of the quick spins of the night.
Yeah, I think that guy's in trouble.
Wow. As you can see right there, he's pushing off really hard with his neck. That's called bridging, and that's the key if you don't want to get pinned. You got to push really hard with your neck and feet, and just hope your shoulders aren't touching.
We're just going to ride him and fatigue him a little here, and hopefully get the pin shortly. Now, Garrett, when they stay in this position for a while, does something the ref claim no advantage and break them up, or do you just ride it, go where it goes?
So it depends on the case. Sometimes he'll call it, basically it's called a stalemate. And basically that means that both the wrestlers are in a position where neither one of them is going to move in order to gain because he knows the other guy will get an advantage. And is that pin right there? Yeah.
That was a pin. Game over.
They're moving, man. They're going quick.
53 seconds in, Hurley pins his opponent. So now we're up to a 42-6 match score.
And now we got a 145-pounder. This is Jack Norris, and he's a junior today.
They're going to have to stay and have a workout after this. This is going to be a light day compared to training, right?
I know. Maybe they'll start wrestling amongst themselves, you know? So right now, Jack's trying to work that takedown, get it, but the other guy had a pretty good sprawl. But it looks like he's going to combat that sprawl and really get around and control the hips. They're still in a pretty good scramble though, right here, and there's your two right there.
30 seconds in.
So here's a perfect angle for you to really see how Jack's trying to control those wrists, stop the guy from getting his hips off the ground. Well, perfect if the ref wasn't blocking the camera. So this right here is what we call referee's position, where they start with one guy starts on his hands and knees, and the other one starts kind of almost on top of him. This is a classic position you'll see in a lot of varsity jacket letter pins and stuff like that.
Who determines who goes down here? Is it the Chapin's wrestler's choice, or
so it depends on who wins that toss in the very beginning, is who chooses like first and kind of alternates. But basically, whoever does get to choose that first time, at least when period ends, they'll either choose top, bottom, or defer, or neutral, and then it just goes from there. If they defer, the other guy chooses.
Okay. Closing out the first period here. Still at 4-0, Chapin here.
So by this point, really what Jack's trying to do is just make sure this guy does not get to his feet and get away and give up that year's point.
It's the end of your first period. glad to have Garrett here tonight. We're teaching him the ropes of our production equipment. We're glad to have him here as an analyst.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Special thanks to Carter Burns, Joey Cooper Martinez, and Asa McMeekin, your technical staff, for setting up all the equipment and getting our broadcast booth set up for tonight. We did the easy stuff. So we're now in the second period here. I'll score 4-0 on Chapin. What you see at the top is the team score, 42-6. Going out to the broadcast. 45 seconds into the first match here.
And so what the ref just threw up right there, it's called stalling, and had a fist right there. Basically saying that the guy, so in that case, Chapin, is basically not trying to progress the match. Instead, they're just trying to waste time and stay in the same position. So that basically means, gonna move on.
Okay. So they warn you, and then if you don't do anything, they can penalize you for the point deduction?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
So here, he was close. He almost had a pin, but then they went out.
Closing with 15 seconds here of the second period of this match. One of the few matches to go this long so far. Good match though. Chapin ahead 6-0.
So right there, you can see Jack trying to reach under that body and grab that arm. He's trying to get it up on the guy's back so he can run it around and potentially get a pin combination.
He's got it.
Next time.
We'll head to the third period of this match with Chapin up 6-0 in this individual match. Team score at 42-6. Chapin going down here. Now 8-0 score in the match.
So there we go. Jack's got that arm up on the guy's back, and you'll see he's trying to really work him around, potentially get him to his back in here.
What is that called when you put their arm back? What do you call that?
So that's called an arm bar, actually, or a bar arm. Really can switch either way. It's pretty common terminology. It's a painful move for sure if you do it correctly, but it works.
Trying to get the arm bar and then roll him that way to his back.
Yes, sir. He's trying to, and it's called a half Nelson when you get your arm under another guy's arm and throw it over his head and crank it. And you'll see. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing right now, if I'm not mistaken. But
That's the pin, correct?
Sir.
Yeah. That's the pin in the third period there. Tough way for Dreher.
All right, so now we got our 152 wrestler. He's a senior. And he's Kyle Nichols.
Nice crowd here tonight, Garrett. It's drawing a good crowd. The Chapin Wrestling program has had a good tradition over the years. Stands are getting fuller and fuller every year with support, so it's nice to see.
Absolutely. Wrestling is one of those lesser-known sports out there, and no one really comes to our matches, so it's nice to see some support every once in a while, you know?
Well, I see people out there who don't even have kids wrestling, and that's the difference.
Exactly. And wow, that was an extremely quick move right there. He tried to do a move called it's called a stack right there for the meaning that just stacks the guy on his back. And if he was a freestyle wrestler right now, he would have had a lot of points, because in freestyle wrestling, if you roll a guy across his back, you actually get points for that. Sadly, in folk style wrestling, high school wrestling, that's not a thing. This right here is called a tilt, and so you can see his back's not all the way flat on the ground, so as a result, he's not going to get the pin. But since his back is near the ground, he's going to get those near fall points, which you can see the ref counting off. And now that he gets back on, he can see him throw up those points.
So he's getting a 2.50 advantage now.
So right there, that looks like it might be a pin. It's close.
Jesus, that looks like he's got him in a pretzel.
Yeah, it's called a spladdle. It's not a fun move. You see the other guy's a little bit frustrated about that one, but it was a good effort trying to escape. So that's another pin for Chapin.
Wow.
All right, so now we have our 160 pounder filling in for me. His name's Cole Hodges. He's a senior, and he's actually also one of our captains.
All right. So this is what weight class is this today?
160 pounds.
60. Okay. When are you expected to be back in wrestling?
So I'm hoping to recover from my surgery and be back wrestling by the new year.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's been a little while since I've wrestled. I was out due to injuries last year as well, so I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know how any of you guys make it through a season watching the crazy positions your body gets put into. I don't know how in the world.
Honestly, me neither.
When you watch it here, it's hard to watch sometimes for the crazy, unnatural positions the wrestlers get put into.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know how their necks and shoulders don't just. 2 points there for Chapin on the move.
So right there, you can see Cole really cranking down that head, because most wrestlers know if you crank down the head, the guy's going to lose. It's going to be a little bit of pain, and the guy's going to lose a lot of effort trying to get you away from that. And as you can see, it works. He's on his back right now, hoping for the pin. There it is. Minute 19 seconds left on the clock. And 66 for Chapin.
Yeah, when they're trying to get the pin, are they looking for the inside part of the two shoulder blades to touch at the same time that the players are pin?
Yes, sir. Typically, they hold it for about 3 seconds is what it is. And yeah, it's the inside points of the shoulder blade, the furthest depth on the back. Okay. And that right there is actually Cole Hodges' 100th varsity win.
Wow, that's impressive.
So next up, 170-pound weight class, we have Sean Hale, a sophomore, Chapin High School.
Okay.
And Sean Hale, for those of you who don't know, is actually the younger brother of Cole Hale, and I believe he wrestled first this meet.
Yeah, okay. Right.
There's a classic double leg takedown right there. Failed attempt, but he goes for the reach shot and sadly goes out of bounds. But those 2 good attempts right there, and that shows you just how difficult it is to really complete one of those takedowns.
Good wrestler with 2 points there on the takedown, able to hold her Sean Hale's leg. A lot of folks at home see the far mat, Garrett, that kids are wrestling. Those are the middle school kids wrestling, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. For those of you watching at home, the near mat is high school, Chapin High School versus Dreher. Far mat is Chapin middle, and I'm not certain who their opponent is. You know who the middle schoolers are wrestling?
You know, sir, I actually don't.
Okay. I can't tell by their singlets who they are. Okay. The current match here with Sean Hale's still in the first period. About 39 seconds left, and it's tied at 2-2. Your team scores 6-6 in favor of Chapin.
see right there, Sean's got his leg underneath the other guy, and that's helping him control his hips. He's going to suck his hips in, basically push up with them, and that way he'll force the dude to the ground, as you can see what he's doing right here.
Trying to get him on his stomach.
Yeah, yes, sir, that's correct. And then you can see he's actually wrenching that arm, too, so it looks like he's going for a tilt or a pin of some kind.
8 seconds left in the first period of this match.
So now it's Chapin's choice. He decides to defer and give the decision to Dreher. And Dreher decides to choose bottom on the referee's position.
Why did he defer there, Garrett? Tell me the logic.
So the logic behind that is if he defers, he gets to choose second period. So if he's down, he can decide to choose bottom. But if he's up and he knows he's a better up wrestler, he can just keep that going.
Okay.
And so that's kind of the logic behind that. And usually, if you're choosing and you're behind, you're going to choose down because you actually have a chance of scoring more points that way.
Escape points.
Yes, sir. Because you can choose, you can get potentially an escape point and takedown or a reversal, which is worth two.
Okay.
Just behind, choose down.
Points. Stop the match here. I'm not sure what prompted that, but tonight's match being streamed on our CSPN YouTube channel. It's your place for all your Chapin sports that are being broadcast and will always be available later to watch.
So right there's your half Nelson. He's going under that head in order to get squeezed. Right there, you can see him grabbing the head and grabbing the leg and pushing the side. Right there, he's trying to do it's called a near side cradle.
Close match, still sitting 2-2.
Yes, sir.
40, well, right at just under 40 seconds in the second period remaining.
Right there, you can see the ref throwing out those near fall points right there. So that's good optimism. And there's a pin right there, 24 seconds left in the second period.
Another 6-point decision going Chapin's way.
All right, so next up, we have our 182-pounder, Hunter Dixon. He's a sophomore this year.
Team score now at 66-6. Chapin shouldn't have that many more weight classes left, do we, Garrett?
No, sir. I believe that it's this one, and then we have one more, our 195-pound weight class.
Okay.
All right, so Hunter starts out with some spot the pressure and then takes a quick shot off the line. He's really going for that one. He's trying to get the legs in that case. Ends up building back to his feet. And it's out. So there's a quick shot by Hunter. He took a double leg. He's going and driving across the mat. Looks like he's trying to transition. He gets it. He transitioned to a kind of a sloppy fireman, but worked nevertheless, and there you go, you guys too.
Kind of got away from him a little bit. It looked like there he was looking for a pin. He kind of rolled on past him with his stomach.
Yes, sir, that's correct. You know, it happens sometimes. You know, the other guy thinks a little bit too quick for you to get it, but.
Right. Well, the wrestler at that point's in defensive mode. He's trying to get off his back as fast as he can.
Oh, absolutely. First thing you think of as soon as you get to your back is get out, get out, get out.
Yeah.
Coaches always teach you, if you can see the lights, you're in a bad spot. So you can see Hunter's got both his legs right now. He pushes them back and he really just crushes the hips of that opponent so you can't really get up at all. Doing some good head pressure there, pushing him really hard down. In old school, we used to call that a blue stripe, because it would leave a blue stripe across the forehead of the opponent.
And did you wrestle at Chapin last year, or you're new this year to the school?
So I arrived at the school last year. I'm a military brat right from Ramstein Air Force Base, Germany. But sadly last year I got sidelined due to an injury I received in football. So this will be my first year wrestling at Chapin, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's great. Oh, he's on his back here.
We almost got a pin. We're looking for it. Last year I got sidelined due to football. Looks like there's the pin right there. So that
6 seconds left in the first period, and Dixon pins him.
that's combined. Let's score 72-6.
Yeah.
Chapin Eagles. Now looks like we have our final match of the night, at least for this match. We have 195 pounds. Bryson Miller, he's a junior for Chapin.
So I guess, Garrett, this is why a lot of times you have a three-way match with three teams, so that you can wrestle another team where you can last a little longer, huh?
Yes, sir, absolutely. This fans a little bit more to watch, and in that three-way match, when two teams wrestling, the other team kind of gets a break, gets able to recover a little bit, you know?
Right.
Just a lot of aggressive head movement right here, really squeezing each other's necks, going for those legs.
This is the 190 class.
195 pounds.
Okay, 195, okay.
Some really aggressive hand fighting by both these wrestlers here, batting on each other's ears, which results, I'm sure, many of the odds have heard of. It's called cauliflower ear. Makes your ears, well, look like cauliflower. It's not a really good look, but it's kind of a badge of honor on combat sport participants.
Chapin with a takedown there, 2-point move, so 2-0 now. Right at 50 seconds left in the first period. I have a nephew, Cody Bunnage, that wrestled here at Chapin High School and wrestled collegiately at Newberry, and I've seen the cauliflower ear.
Yeah, it's quite the spectacle for a guy who hasn't seen it the first time. Just a little bit of advice for everyone watching out there. If you're about to get in a fight with someone, see they have cauliflower ear, don't fight that person.
Right. That's good advice. Okay, tell us what happened there, Garrett. Chapin wrestle was on top, and then he kind of stopped, and here we are. He just let both of them up. Why the stoppage?
So it looks like there could have been a few things. It's probably just a penalty point. Yeah, that's what it looks like right there. So he made an illegal move. So I'm sure he probably just locked his hands underneath the man's belly. So when the guy on top and there's a guy on bottom, basically the way it works is as long as the guy on bottom is on his knees, you can't just lock your hands underneath his torso, and that's to make it a little bit more fair for the guy on bottom.
I got you.
So there's time in the first period. Green's choice, so Chapin gets to choose. He decides to choose down, maybe looking for some more points here, increase the lead a little bit.
And that just all goes back to the individual wrestler's ability to either be good on bottom or top.
That's correct.
Where he thinks he's most likely to get his points.
Exactly. That's kind of the mentality behind that.
Starting the second period, see if he gets the points here.
So he goes for a stand-up right there. He's trying to break those hands off and push them into his hip. So it looks like he switched to a sit-out. Now he's really reaching back. You see him reach back right there for the leg. Goes back to another stand-up. Trying to break off those hands on his hip again. And there you go. So he gets 1 point for that escape, and now they're back in neutral.
That's the team this year. We already talked about Hank Manis is wrestling this year, and another wrestler I know is not in wrestling is Jake Watson. He's recovering from some knee surgery, so he's not wrestling this year. So those two wrestlers I know that are not involved.
Yes, sir, absolutely. You know, it's a shame that we're losing Jake for the season. You know, he got a lot of effort, a lot of passion for the sport. So it's a bummer. He got injured during football, had to have I believe it's an ACL repair. So he's going to be out for a little while. I wish him the best of luck in that recovery.
Yeah. I think he just had his surgery last week, but I think he's doing well. And, 10 to 12 weeks, he'll probably be in pretty good shape. With 30 seconds left in the second period, 5-1 match in the current match you're watching here. They were Chapin, the team score at 72-6.
First time in the second period. It's gonna be Dreher's choice. Let's see what he chooses. Looking to his coach for some guidance. He decides to choose bottom. He's looking for some points, maybe make up that deficit, looking for a win.
Let me ask you, Garrett, he looks to his coach for guidance on whether to go up or down. Does he as a wrestler not already know whether he's better up or down?
You know, sometimes you don't really don't, especially when you're tired. You know, when you're out there, it gets pretty hard to think, and you know, you may be really good at top against certain guys, but against other guys, you know, it's just you absolutely do not want to be on top. So it really just depends on the wrestler, and so the coach who's out there watching you kind of gets a good idea of what you're good at against this particular wrestler, and can help them kind of guide you on that decision.
That's a great explanation.
So right now you can see he's got a power half because he's got both that arm under and another arm locked on top. So he's really trying to work that elbow up and then push him over. But looks like the other guy defended it well, so he's back in just standard referee's position.
I guess when you wrestle within a good wrestling program like Chapin, and you wrestle against good wrestlers in practice, I mean, not only is it the coach's input, but wrestling with other good wrestlers and the stuff they're teaching you is a tremendous asset, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yes, sir. I mean, something you'll see in some of the best teams is that they have really good chemistry with each other. They have a great coach, and on top of that, something you don't see when they're out, wrestling in meets like this is that during practice, being able to wrestle against really great wrestlers just makes you so much better. And so you'll see over the progression of the season, teams who already have a pretty good standing, those continue to get better and better due to that.
Yeah, there's your pin.
There's pin. Bryson Miller, just the pin, another 6 points for Chapin.
40 seconds left in the third period. Another pin, and the team's score now at 78-6, Chapin. And that's the match.
So that was definitely a good showing by Dreher, put out a lot of effort, but Chapin worked it and they came out on top. It's a fantastic night.
Well, that's a quick match. We're 43 minutes in and the match is now over. Take a minute here to tell our viewers next week. I think, Garrett, don't you guys have a match here Wednesday against River Bluff and AC4.
I believe that is correct, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so we're definitely gonna stream that one, and we'd enjoy it very much if you join us and again and be our color analyst. So this time I want to thank all our viewers. Thank Garrett Dean for joining, being our analyst. And until next Wednesday when we host your next wrestling event and broadcast stream, take care and please come back and join us. Thank you. This has been CSPN Sports.